Your host, Michael, and we are back in the house for our Tuesday night show to discuss what else? The UK football team. Where we at, where we're going, getting ready for a game that a lot of people are pretty much going to say, yeah, we pretty much going to lose by 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 touchdowns. I'm not going there just yet. I think we're at I think we're at a critical point right now where we at right now in Kentucky football in terms of the beliefs in the coaches, the beliefs in the will to play, uh, the in retrospect of do we even want to go out on the field and even attempt to play against a team like Georgia, the number one team in the nation? I'm still sold on the football team, and it's when I say football team, I mean the name on the front of the jersey. And I know a lot of people out there have been watching Kentucky football for years. They have been through the ups and the downs and the worries and everything that kind of goes along with it. I get all of that. But it still is my football team. You know, I'm a Cowboys fan. They keep letting us down every year. So, you just pick yourself back up and you just keep rooting for the name on the front of the jersey. But I understand that some people have just had enough, and some people have just basically said, I'm done." I haven't gotten to that point yet, and it's just going to take more than a nobody. You're first. Well, actually, Sean, you're first. Sean's the first, the first YouTube. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. We're back in the house tonight, and we're just getting ready for a game that I believe in. Not It's not a matter, I don't. No one's giving us a chance to win that ball game whatsoever. So we're at a point where we're not here to discuss. We're not here to discuss. Jimmy, hey, how you doing, man? Kentucky Kush, thank you so much for joining all you guys. I don't think the fan base is here to say, let's see if we can beat Georgia. I think we as a fan base is here to see what team shows up on Saturday afternoon and is able to at least put forth some type of effort that we didn't see last week. It's a lot of people who went to the games, a lot of people who had season tickets will not be attending that football game for whatever reason. And everyone has their own reasons on why they decide, when I'm done with Kentucky football. But I still think that there's still going to be a lot of people there, if nothing else, just to see the number one team in the nation play in Georgia. It is expected to be a complete blowout, but my big thing is I think this right here can be an opportunity, not in the sense of winning the ball game, but a sense of, can Coach Stoops get a group of guys in that locker room to come out on the field and play like they matter? Can we come out and can we say, okay, we did not play good at all against South Carolina, but that's not who we are. That's not the best version of who we are as a team. And I think if Coach Stoops wants to regain the trust in the fan base, just bring a product out on the field on Saturday that says we care and that we cannot allow that to happen. What happened last weekend, and we might lose the game, but we're going to show you guys that we're better than what we are. And I think this is a very critical time just for a lot of people overall. And which version of Kentucky will we see Saturday show up at Kroger Field? I mean, because as I said before, if you're just going to be someone who's just going to just run out the tunnel and you're not bringing it, then there's no need to run out the tunnel. See, I you know I I got to continue to believe that there's something there still that can be salvaged for the 2024 campaign. Do we have a long way to go? Yes. Do we have a tough schedule? Yes. Does it, besides, even after Georgia, it doesn't really get a whole lot easier unless you got a cupcake game. But other than that, we still got to keep fighting. We still got to go out here as a team, and we still got to figure out a way how can we make this 2024 campaign for Kentucky football something that the fan base can be proud of. I get it. That's a big pill to swallow. The way we looked against South Carolina, but like in basketball, you got to have a short-term memory. You got to move on. You got to see how you can pick yourself up. So I'm just for me, I'm just saying, what version of Kentucky are we going to see on the field right now? So, hey, it's good to see a lot of you guys right here. Let me make sure that I didn't miss nobody. Carl Privet, I see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Joshua Hart, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Dive Kentucky fan. AFE, thank you so much. I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone, you guys, and show you guys that I appreciate you guys for coming out tonight. Vegas knows something. We just got blown out by South Carolina by the spread. They give. So what's the spread? I haven't looked at the spread. So what's the spread right here? What is it? I think it's the last time I seen it because I was just scrolling and I accidentally seen it. I think they got Georgia to win by 25 points. I think it is. Has it switched from this morning or whatever? So someone tell me what the spread is too as well. But hey, Ronald, I see you. Thanks for joining in so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. 24. Okay, 20. Because see, I seen the 25. I didn't see the 24, but I did see the 25. I mean, maybe in a couple of days as we get closer to the game, maybe that'll go up. I don't really necessarily seeing it come down a whole lot. But at the end of the day, it does not matter what the spread, 24 and a half. It does not matter what the spread is. At the end of the day, will the Kentucky Wildcats come out and will they play football inspired? Are they going to play inspired for themselves? Are they going to be inspired for the coaching staff? I mean, like, is the coaching going to come out and play inspired? Are they going to come out and just open up the book and let's just see what we got? It's all of this is going to be a mystery until we step on the football field. Hey, Lady Bass, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate 13 in chat. Only one like. Hit the like, please. Yeah, guys. If you guys can do me a favor, please hit the like button if you can. I know. Matter of fact, I need to go back and Mike Martin, thank you so much for joining. I see you. Don't want to forget you. It looks like Mike Martin may be my first Facebook, so I appreciate that as well too. Thanks, Mark, for joining. Mike for joining in. Nobody probably be 40 on spread on game day. I hope not. We'll be two quarterbacks. I mean, at this particular point, we may have to see a two quarterback spread this year. I mean, because if the O line, to me, I think it all comes down to what kind of attitude does the Big Blue Walls, or yeah, I'm still gonna call it the Big Blue Wall. What kind of attitude does the line have this weekend? Because I think if the line can come out and play inspired more than anybody, I think that can spark some energy just around everything. Because when you have one major part of your game plan that is completely collapsed and you're not getting anything from them, that just kind of drains the energy because everybody else is like, why even bother? One of the main sources of who we are, our offensive line, and they're not getting the job done, then it doesn't matter what we do. These guys are not going to help us. So I think if the offensive line comes out, so goes the offensive line, so goes the team. I really believe it because that's going to inspire everyone else around them. The defensive line, those guys, I feel like those guys are going to hold their own. I feel like that those guys are big up front. Those guys are going to play a physical football game with Georgia. These guys want to see where they at. When you look at Deion Walker, he wants to say, okay, if I'm going to the draft and these guys are going to project me to be a high draft pick, what can I do against the elite? How can I go out here and play against these guys who most of these guys are probably going to end up in the NFL? Where do I stand? So I look for the defensive line to actually really do a good job. I'm still not sold on my secondary. We're still too soft. We're still giving up too much tackles. We're still giving up too much space. We're not aggressive. So I'm still not completely sold. So how does Brad White, how does Bush, how does Stoops, how do we all put this together in one game plan and say we got to go out and we got to play the best, we got to play a perfect game. Even to stay in the ball game, we got to play a perfect game. And if they can do that, maybe, even though that they won't win the ball game, can they find a way to at least show their fan base that we understand what we did against South Carolina and it was not good at all. We're here to rectify that. We're here to fix that. And we're going to do everything we can in our power not to let that type of performance ever happen again. And you start that by at least showing up and at least making a valid effort against the number one team in the nation. And I get it. They may win by 25 points. They may win by 40 points. But how do you play the football game overall? How can we base what we see off of you guys moving forward, for the season? Don't wait until Ohio, when we play Ohio just to show us what you can do, because we don't care about the Ohio game. We don't care about that. You can win by 50 points and we're still not going to be impressed. Show us what you can do in the SEC, because people are just, I mean, fans are just saying, hey, it's time for Kentucky football to move to the ACC. It's time for Kentucky football to get out of the out of SEC. We're just not good enough to be in this conference. I disagree with that. I still think that we can still play in the SEC, but we just got to learn to bring it week in and week out. And if we don't, I don't know what to say, because we're getting in dangerous grounds at this particular point. I think the team was too amped for the first SEC game ever on ABC and Netflix, following them around, and that had them out of rhythm. Well, I tell you what, keep all cameras away then. Keep, I mean, it could be they could have just got way up and nobody helped them to deal with that type of with that type of atmosphere or whatever it is. But a lot of these guys got a lot of years up under their belts. I don't get it. Like, why? Like, I mean, you got Minty. He played at Tennessee. Tennessee Stadium is almost as twice the size of ours. Like, how much more do you need? So at the end of the day, we don't really know what the issue was. We don't know why these guys just was so horrible. I'm going to just put that out there as a team, not calling out a particular player or coach. I'm just calling out the team because Kentucky got their butts handed to them. And I'm just wondering, what is it going to take for Kentucky football to come out and play the best version of themselves, whether they lose or what? How do they come out and how do they do their very best? And that's the part that I'm waiting to see. Now, we send Vandy to AC before we go. A lot of people, just feel like that this is just going to be the norm for Kentucky football, or this is going to continue to be the norm for Kentucky football, and we're just going to be below average always. And our expectations every year should be, can we at least get to 6 games? And that's only because of, as they say, they padding the schedule. But I still believe in Coach Stoops. I still believe in the football team, and I believe that they can go out and have a horrible day, and that they can still find a way to bounce back. That's for sure. Vandy's looking good right now, and I can't believe that I'm saying that right now, but Vandy's looking good right now, and I'm still not afraid to play Vandy, but Vandy's looking good right now, and Vandy's running with some momentum right now, and they're playing every single game. These guys are playing with house money. What do we have to lose? And I think Kentucky needs to get that same mindset of, what do we have to lose? People's already checking us out. People already saying that we're not as good as we're supposed to be or whatever. So let's just go out here as a team and let's just play collective football together, and then let's just see what happens. I'm gonna throw this up from, hey, Mark, thanks for joining in. I'm gonna throw this up for Mark because I want to make sure that I can read this out loud before I move on. Throw this up from Mark. Let's see if I can do this. Reality is the key word. Most of us fans know what the true reality of Kentucky football is. That's why tossing away games like this is so difficult to accept. We know it is most likely devastating to our season. UK must win the game it is supposed to win. Okay, I can't get all of it. Let me see if I can read some more of that. One of them have a relevance conference at all. Sorry, all of it won't show up on the screen, so my fault, Mark. Mark Cook. So you guys definitely read that comment by Mr. Cook. But the reality of Kentucky football is, people's been watching Kentucky football a whole lot more. So I can't challenge what Mr. Cook just said about the most fans know the reality of Kentucky football. And I guess it is what it is. But I still think, even though people know the reality of Kentucky football, at the end of the day, that shouldn't change. That shouldn't change how a team prepares. That shouldn't change how they prep for each ball game. And then it shouldn't change on what they go out there on Saturday afternoons to do. I mean, going out there to play football at a high level, that's a choice. Being ready, that's a choice. Being motivated, that's a choice. Having the initiative to go out there to do what it takes to get a job done, that's a choice. And regardless of the reality of Kentucky football, every time these guys strap on a helmet and they run out and the smoke and the fans cheer, the fan says, we're here. We showed up. We brought tickets. We're buying food from the stands. We're helping. Now you guys down on that football field that we're all watching you, that everyone here is watching you play. We expect you guys to come out and play. And I think at the end of the day, regardless of the reality of Kentucky football, each single person on that team, from the coaching staff to the weightlifting coach to the person that hands out water, everybody has a choice of what they're going to do this day. We all make a choice when we show up to work each day that says, I'm going to do my job. And some people, they show up and they don't want to do their job, and they want other people to pull their weight, which other parts fall off if that's the case. So Kentucky football is going to have to come out and collectively as a group, and these guys are going to have to play football as a team. Otherwise, I hate to say it, but the year is probably over early, and we still got a lot of football to go. So I really hope that these guys can really come out, and we just really got to do better. That's for sure. I stopped by say hi, y'all. I'm gonna be out for a while because it's hunting season and I'm in the woods. Godspeed. Hey Earl, good luck to you out there. I appreciate it, and I hope that you get I hope you get you some shots. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much so you and Dreamer, you guys be safe out there in the woods. Okay, make sure you guys got on your reflector clothing so you guys can be seen. Let's see. National champion says it sounds like Big Blue Nation is ready to throw the entire football program away. I hope not, because I'm not ready to throw. Like I was sitting and I was thinking to myself, and maybe I should never sit and think to myself because that's that's just not healthy. But I was sitting thinking to myself is that like I just can't throw my football team away. Like even though I get upset, and as I said, if you guys didn't watch my video from this morning, I posted a video this morning just about my emotions, about being transparent. Even though I did not like the football game, like that's my reactions from that game. That's how I feel about the South Carolina game. But it's something in me that says you got to move on from that. Even though you upset, you still got to move on. We've been waiting all summer for football season. And now that it's here, we have one extremely horrible game. That game that is probably one of the worst in Mark Stoops' era outside of the Vandy game. So I can't just throw everything away. I can't just say, okay, this is it. This right here was horrible. I gotta just I'm disowning the football team. I can't do that. There's something inside of me that just says you can't just throw the team away. You can't just get rid of them. You still got to find a way to support your team. And I think that's where I'm at right now, is that I just can't give up. And I see all kinds. This is a real busy time when football season starts and when basketball season starts. These are real busy times for me because I'm always posting on different platforms a lot of questions, a lot of stuff that draws conversation. So I see a lot of answers and a lot of responses from a lot of different people. And I ask the questions to spark conversations, but if I wanted to go through and really dissect each comment, then I would be depressed, because there's people out there who are just basically saying, look, I'm done, man. Like I don't want any more Stoops. I'm not going back to the games if Stoops is going to. So I have to make a choice within myself on what do I do? Where's my mindset going for Kentucky football? Do I just check out? I can't just check out. This is what I love. I love this, and I love cheering for my football team, and I look forward to my Wildcats hopefully bouncing back even after this big loss to Georgia. But even still, there's something in me that still has a little hope that our Kentucky Wildcats will show up against Georgia and play out of their mind. Now, does that mean they play out of their mind and they win the ball game? No, it means that they come out and they say, we understand that we made a horrible mistake against South Carolina, and we have to find a way to start correcting that right now. And now we're building confidence with Georgia. Come out and blow out Ohio State. I mean, not Ohio State, but Ohio, and then get ready to go on the road for the first road game against Ole Miss. And let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can find a way to salvage. Let's see what we can build off of. And I think that starts with Saturday. do we get blown out or do we make this any type of game whatsoever? I don't, Georgia just took care of business against everybody. I get it. But can Kentucky at home find something in them that says we're better than we was against South Carolina? Any team would pay a $45 million buyout if he sucks this year. Uh, yeah, I know, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I guess if he was going to go, then I guess it was time to go against A&M. Big Orange, hey, thanks for joining the show. I appreciate it. Tennessee knows a thing or two about losing to South Carolina. Ask them how the 2022 season. Yeah, that didn't end good for you guys as well too. It didn't. But I think I think South Carolina was better then than they are now, because now they're not a good team right now. But Kentucky just wasn't good at all whatsoever. I agree, nobody, but our O line sucked in that game. No time for Brock. So I see something. I see a comment by Carl. Um, do you guys think if the O line actually shows up and gives Brock some time back there to do maybe what he can do you think Brock is the answer? Do you think you think he can help us become a better team if he's given the opportunity? Or is it just like, okay, I don't really know if he's really the guy. Maybe we should look at Wimstad more and just get Brock out of the ball game. It's all about what's going to happen. Um, for me, what I'm going to look for Brock in this ball game is don't don't try to feel like you got to do too much against your old team. Those guys are going to come out. Those guys are going to try to punish you. They're going to try to tell you should have stayed in Georgia, where you belong. But we're going to see what happens, and we're going to see if these guys are going to go out and and see if they're going to perform. Hey, Dustin, I see you, big guy. Appreciate it. I'm on here now, big boy. So, Clyde, y'all lost to South Carolina football, sent him dying laughing. So, we just got to that's the thing. If Stoops wants to leave, or the players with the talent want to go pro, they must turn it around. They gotta. I mean, they don't have to beat Georgia. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is, if you come out as a team, as coaches, as players, and if you come out in that ball game and you lay a dud, not just with the score, but your performance and your body language and your attitude. If you come out and you play such a game as that, I just don't see how a lot of the fan base sticks around any longer. I just don't. Like, if you play horrible against Georgia and you don't even show up, that Ohio game, you might have 12 people at the ball game. Why? Why am I going to go to an Ohio? I mean, you guys are supposed to. I can stay home and do other things. Why do I want to go see you guys blow out Ohio for? That ain't a true measurement of who you are. If you want the fan base to stay with you, you got to come in this ball game against Georgia, and you got to show that you truly understand the mistakes that you made in the first game. I mean, against South Carolina, and you got to try to fix that in the best that you can. I get it. I get it. Georgia is one of those NFL college teams. I get it. These guys are absolutely the real thing. I understand, but somebody tell me who keeps up with, because I think was it Boyle County in Kentucky. I think that's who it was. It was a high school team in Kentucky this past week that had no business going to Ohio. I think they went up to Ohio and they beat a team that they had no business beating, and they beat them by 21 points. Sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you just got to show up and give it your very best and just see what happens. You just do. You just got to show up and say, we're here to play. If we lose, okay. Nobody gave us a shot to win anyway. It's okay. But we're just going to show up, and we're just going to see what happens. According to ESPN, yeah, I'm sticking around for every game, just not blind to what I'm watching. I understand. Hey, Roger. And Roger, I saw your comments online. Georgia 58, Cats 3. Come on, man. Come on, dude. At least give us what happens if you guys are 5-7 this year. Oh, it's just not good, bro. Dustin, it's not. I'm sticking around every game, just not blind. And a lot of people feel that same way. And I have been told several times by someone that's watching this right now that I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. It's not that I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm glad that you're here, actually, as a matter of fact. It's not that I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. It's just I want to believe that Kentucky football is slightly better than what we saw on the field last weekend. And it doesn't matter what the look. If I don't watch a lot of coaches' show, I do sometimes. I don't really go and watch players' interviews, not a whole lot, and maybe I should, and maybe that makes me a bad fan. I don't know. Maybe I need to watch that stuff a whole lot more, but I don't. I don't watch a lot of these press conferences. I don't watch a lot of this stuff that goes on. I just want to see what you're gonna do. Don't talk about what it is you would like to do in front of a microphone, because that's not the true test of who you are. Go out there on the field when you strap on your helmet and your shoulder pads and your cleats and go out there and play some football. We'll go out there and play some basketball. To me, that tells me who you are as a person in the sense of sports. And I know that it's life and stuff is bigger than football and basketball, and I get that. But you came to Kentucky to play football. You came to Kentucky to play basketball. That's what we would like to see you do. We would like to see you do your job. And at the end of the day, if you can't do that, get your backup in, because there's no need to keep you in. You might as well go ahead and get – football's too dangerous to come out there and half play. People are getting hurt, man. People are just getting hurt. And if you're not going to give you your best, stay off the field and let them younger guys who want to stay for years, who got some years left in them, let them go on out there and get that game time experience. Let them go on out there and get hit and see what they can do, because evidently you're not going to do it. So let these guys do it. So I can't. I've thrown in the towel on Mark Stoops, and a lot of people have thrown in the towel on Mark Stoops. They really have, and I'm not going to tell anybody that you're wrong because you don't believe in Kentucky football. I'm not going to tell anybody that you're wrong just because you don't believe in Coach Stoops. I'm not going to tell anybody wrong because they want to sell their season tickets. I'm not even going to tell anybody wrong if you don't even want to go to no more ball games. Why Stoops is still the coach? You do what you feel like is best for you. That's why life is so good, because we got choices. And I hope our guys, the Wildcats, make a choice to come out against Georgia and show who they can be. Give us a glimpse of who they can really be as a football team moving forward past post Georgia game. That's what I'm looking for. Where is this Brock Vandagriff guy I kept hearing about when he played? I'm anxious to see him. We all anxious to see, but we're not going to be able to see. We're not going to be able to see the best version, or to see even to get a glimpse of who Brock is, if Brock doesn't have a front line. And I don't care what quarterback is out there. I don't care who you are. The way our offensive line played, I don't care. I do not care who the quarterback is. If he ain't got a line, he ain't doing nothing. All night long, he ain't going to do nothing. So maybe, just maybe, we can see what we got, and then we can move forward after the Georgia game. Because I don't want nobody to sit here and say that the Loyal BBN fan show sat there and said that Kentucky's going to beat Georgia. I'm not saying that. I want to see how we compete. I want to see, did we see what we did wrong against South Carolina, and can we come out and can we fix that? Can we get better? You don't come out and you don't let a true freshman beat three linemen, three senior linemen. You don't let a guy come out and be the tight end and all these guys because he's just a freshman, and you let this guy put that much pressure on the quarterback. No, that's just not going to happen for sure. Hey, Melissa, it's good to see you, Miss Wilson. Thank you so much for joining. We have some of the best practice facilities in the country. Well, what are we going to do, man? What are we going to do with that? Because I don't know. Because, something different has got to be done. And it starts with those guys inside the locker room, not the fan base, not the coaches. I get it. The coaches have to coach. The coaches have to coach inspired. They have to believe that what they're out there doing, that they can out-coach the other team. Beamer just out-coached Stoops, period. But it also comes down to, and I'm a big believer in this, and you don't have to agree with me, but at the end of the day, you can have a coach who may not be somebody that you believe in, but those players, when they line up between those white lines out there on that gridiron, those guys still got to go to work. They still got to do their jobs. That's why you at D1. That's why you in the SEC. You got to do better. You blame the coaches for not changing up the scheme to get him more protection. I'm for me, I mean, this is for Roger. It's everybody's fault for not making the necessary adjustments so we can play a better ball game. The coaches have to do that. The coaches have to put the players in the best position so they can play football. But at the end of the day, the players still got to go out there and execute. They still got to go out there and they still got to play at a high level. The players didn't play at a high level. The coaches didn't coach at a high level. It was an all system failures by all the Kentucky football staff, all the players, everyone to blame for what happened out on that football field against South Carolina. Everyone's going to have to show up against Georgia, and they're going to have to show that that wasn't us. It's it. One thing that I'm not going to sit here and do. I don't like calling out names, particularly. I like saying that the Kentucky football team wins or the Kentucky football team loses. You never, for me, I've just been taught that you never really personally just start calling out people. These are young men. These are, you know what I'm saying? These are young guys. These guys are just playing football out there. We get it. I'm not here. You'll never hear me just straight out just bash a coach. You'll never hear me straight out just bash a player. I say the Kentucky Wildcat team as a whole sucked, and they need to fix that, and they need to get it back together because a lot of fans have already checked out. A lot of people have no more faith in Coach Stoops. A lot of people are just moving on, and that's just the way it is. And I'm not here to change your mind. You do what you feel like is best for you. Pope is the new Cal, as yesterday's news. Cal is not talking about him in media now. That's good that I when the crane is gone. I get sorry seating. Same thing if you can feel it. If you can't feel it. And above all, we need an O-line to play with some heart and grit. MJ, that is exactly what I'm trying to get to right here. I'm just you're absolutely right. I'm just ready to see what our O-line is going to show up and do when they step on the field against Georgia. And I don't care who Georgia is. I get who Georgia is. But we also have an obligation to say, I can still try. Like, just try. Like, show like you care. Just show that it matters. Show it that you don't want to just get run off the field on your home field, 58-3, like someone else just said. Just pretend like you want to be here today. That's all we're looking for. Just pretend like this is what you do for a living. I play football. I block for my quarterback. They came to my house. They called me up and they said, "You a lineman. We need you to block for the quarterback. You want to come to Kentucky?" Absolutely. We got you on campus now. Guess what your job is? Go to class, be a good citizen, and block. That's it. That's not too hard. I don't think that's asking too much. If you only have half the seats, UK girls could probably fill it. Could be. I agree, Mike. The wheels came off the. Now, how do we put the wheels back on? Collectively as a group, saying that performance can never happen again. Even against a team like Georgia, that performance that can't happen again. And that's how we get it, and that's how we start fixing this is by doing it. So Brock Vinegar and Barry Brown would dominate South Carolina. Well, it didn't happen. None of that happened. Like I said, and I think Barry Brown. I think his streak was broke. I think it was like 32, 37 straight games or whatever it is that he's caught a pass. He didn't catch a pass against South Carolina. Nobody catch a pass against South Carolina, seemed like. We didn't what we go, 6 for 10, 6 for 19, whatever it was. It wasn't a good game. All system failures for real. But I'm a Kentucky fan before I'm a Coach Stoops fan. I'm a Kentucky fan before I'm a Brock Vinegar fan. I'm a Kentucky fan before I'm a Big Blue Wall fan. I'm a Kentucky fan before I'm a Dane Key fan. I'm a Kentucky fan before I'm a Barry and Brown fan. I'm just a Kentucky fan, and I want to see Kentucky do well, and I want to see them succeed. And if there's anything wrong with that, then I guess I'm in the wrong place then, because I'm just going to just keep cheering for my Wildcats, regardless of what happens. And it hurts, and I get angry. I do, like everybody else. I have emotion. 3 and 10 for 30 yards. That's bad. That's bad. Stay humble. Chris, stay humble. That's all I say for you. And I get it. Your team's been bad for years, and those guys are having a small amount of success right now. But stay humble because you guys got to get in the SEC play too. And until you guys win an SEC game again, you guys can't really talk. A whole lot right now. So, but we'll get it together. How soon? I don't know. Against what team? I don't know that neither. But unless I can hold out faith that something special happens, then I'm definitely in the wrong. I'm definitely doing the wrong thing with my life. What's up, Big Mike? Just got here. You line up and play or go sit down. Show that you want to be on the field. That's it, Mark. Just show that you want to be out there. I don't really think that's asking too much for anybody. It's just show that you want to play. 2 in a row, probably a record. We just got to show that we want to play. And if we don't, we get our butts handed to us. We really will. And some people's like, well, that's just typical. One thing that really hurts me is just being able to see people say, oh, it's no problem. That's just typical Kentucky. That's no problem. I hope that narrative can change one day. I hope that can really change. A lot of people really felt like that we was really headed in the right direction. Losing like we did to South Carolina is just one of those things that says, I don't know. Let's go back and let's reevaluate really where we at as a program, as a club, and everything, and see are we really heading in the right direction? And I really just for me, I really just hope that our guys come out and just play like I got the receipt. So Vandy's beating UK, lock those bets. It just we just got to see really what happens. And, it's not too late for Kentucky football to turn it around. It's still not, will we make a bowl game? Should. Is it going to come down to what I heard? Maybe the game against Louisville will maybe could determine if we go to a bowl game or not. I don't know. I tell you what, here's my prediction. And I know this is crazy. If we can play decent, if we can play like we care against Georgia, completely destroy Ohio like we're supposed to, and then go to Ole Miss and some miracle of a way, a team that's averaging 69 points a game, and find a way to beat those guys somehow, people forget about the South Carolina game. They just will, because that's one of those games against Ole Miss you're not supposed to win. Like I said, once in a while, you'll get a team who will play out of their mind. We just hope that one team is Kentucky in one of these next 3 games. Can they play, next 2 games, because Ohio, I'm not counting that game. Against the next 2 games, real games, can they find a way to play out of their mind and be as good as we hope as a fan base? Ohio. Well, I'm not counting Ohio though. I don't want to count that game. Georgia, throw down Ohio because you're supposed to beat those guys, and then you come back up on the road against Ole Miss. So can we play out of our mind on one of those 2 games, and let's see where the chips fall for sure. Here's a simple fact: Mark Stoops doesn't want to be at UK. If he did it is what it is, man. As a fan, and believe me, if Mark Stoops don't want to be at Kentucky, there's a lot of fans out there who don't want Mark Stoops as a Kentucky coach. It's as simple as that. So if Mark Stoops wants to leave, then Mark Stoops can leave today. He does not have to. There's nothing hanging over his head that says Mark Stoops has to stay at Kentucky. He can leave today. Bye. Get out the door if you don't want to be here. Let somebody else coach. You don't have to coach here if you don't want to be here. Simple as that. I'm not going to address that no more. Not because when you're ready to go, you can leave. The door, let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Simple as that. I don't care if he wants to be here or not. If you don't want to be here, then stop coaching my team then. Stop bringing my team out on the field and not giving a crap. Put somebody in there who cares. Somebody who wants to win the ball game. Get out of here if you don't want to be at Kentucky then. I don't want to hear that narrative no more. If you don't want to be here, just leave. It's really that simple. No one's keeping you here, Coach Stoops, if you don't want to be here. Anyway, I feel good tonight. So I'm going on vacation because I need it. Because I think
I think I need it. But I'm looking forward to see if how wild sometimes they change. A change is needed sometimes. It is, and if this is not where anyone wants to be at, they can leave. I work in contracting overseas, like a lot of other people. People ask me, "Well, can you leave? Do you have to stay there your whole contract? You can come here and stay for one day and tell them I don't want to do this no more, and they'll get you a plane ticket out of town within a week. It's that simple. I know people who's flown all the way to Iraq, got off the plane. No, this is totally not what I was expecting. Get me out of here. And in 72 hours, they were sitting back in their living room. If you don't want to be somewhere, leave. No one's keeping you here. No one's putting anything to your head, making you stay. Go. Let the door hit you. We want people here at Kentucky who wants to be here at Kentucky. We want players here at Kentucky who want to be at Kentucky, and we want players on the field who want to be on the field for Kentucky to give it everything they got. Otherwise, don't come to Kentucky. Don't get on the field. Don't do anything. We want people who want to play football. We want people here who want to coach football. It's that simple. It really is. So it's just football, I guess, to some people. But yeah, I think Vincent Brad would stay if Summerall came, unless he brought his own staff. It is, you know what I'm saying? So, we just want people here who want to be here. I think to go listen to his press conference, they know what I want to coach around this is the things and that's and a lot of fans have already checked out on Mark Stoops. They just have. A lot of people is not going to watch until Coach Stoops is gone. And maybe this is his last year. I don't know. Maybe it is, but I don't do the let me start a petition, let me start a rally, let me start a cry, let me start a tweet of fire a certain coach. I'm just saying, if you don't want to be here, if you don't want to be anywhere, then just go. There's no obligation. The only people who have to stay where they at and they can't leave is those who's behind bars. Other than that, everything you're doing in life, if you don't like it, you can leave. No one's keeping you here. It's that simple. Quit. It's really that simple. All we want here is, and I think this is any fan base. All we want as fans is just for ever who's going to be on the sideline, ever who's going to be on the field. It's just, I want to be here. I'm here by choice, and I think that's the biggest thing. Let's just say they mentioned Tulane's coach on KSR. It could be, man, and your coaches ran them off by not giving Dustin a chance to win. So it is what it is, and we just got to continue to just. I mean, he went out to Colorado. He's not even on the depth chart. So I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to keep. When your passion runs out for something, it's time to move on. It is, and this is for Curtis. If Stoops' passion for being at Kentucky is gone, then leave. It's okay. If you're a player and you just feel like, you know what, it's called a transfer portal. I don't want to be at Kentucky no more. Then leave. Don't hurt us by staying. Don't be that sour apple in the group, because it's gonna mess with everybody. Don't be that person. Maybe they will. So you can't just look at what Kentucky ran off. If these guys are going out to another team and they're not even making the depth chart at all, so you gotta that narrative that Kentucky didn't want to give somebody a chance, then I guess you better go tell Deion that Deion don't want to give him a chance. But I don't follow football that close. I try to keep up with Kentucky the best I can, so I don't do a whole lot of watching or keeping up with what's going on with other people and other. You just heard things in passing, and you see posts and you see things like that, so you kind of just pick up a little news here and there. But at the end of the day, the Kentucky fans are very passionate, and you can't blame Kentucky fans for being passionate and just wanting more. You can't blame any fan base for just wanting more. And every coach out there, with the exceptions of a few like a Sabian or whatever, every coach out there can get ran out of town. They just do. It's only a handful of coaches out there who maybe can just coach until they are ready to leave. But overall, if you're a bad coach on a bad program, you can be ran out. You just can. So out of the last 30 games UK has played that has a winning record, Stoops is 1-29. That's horrible. That's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? So he's getting a lot of playing time in Colorado and Shador. So out of the last 30 games UK has played, that's just not good. And I think and look, it's at times where I behind this camera and this microphone, I have to be real, of course. And if you only win in 1 out of 30 games against teams with winning records, that ain't something that's gonna get it done. This ain't the program for you. This SEC thing, this ain't for you. That's to me that's not acceptable. They wouldn't even accept that from a Nick Saban. Oh, Nick Saban, you at Alabama and you only won one game out of 30 games of teams that have winning records. Oh no, you can't be here at Alabama. Oh, Kirby Smart, that's all you can do. No, you're probably gone a long time before that. But because this is Kentucky football, a little bit more is tolerated more than at those powerhouse schools like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and stuff like that. You get a shorter leash when you at these programs because these programs are expected to compete for a national championship year in and year out. We're just competing. Can we make a bowl game? Can we have 1 year every few years that the fan base says, yes, we had a very good year this year. Unfortunately, we had one yanked away from us from things off the field that caused this to happen. But overall, I think as fans, we just want to see our guys show up and just pretend like you want to be at Kentucky, pretend like you want to go out and pretend like you want to have some motivation about yourself, that you want to do the best you can out there, because otherwise it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for you to be at Kentucky. And that goes for anybody at Kentucky, for any program outside or whatever. It's just, if you at a program, then you should do better. We can get any coach we want by throwing in the bourbon in the bourbon package. Could be. I don't know. I mean, I know he's getting a lot of money from that. But once again, I don't stay in people's money. I don't get involved. It doesn't really matter what people are making. I stay away from that. That's none of my business. Nobody's paying me to know how much somebody's making. They just don't. But it's a lot of money being made out there, and the results are not matching what we're paying you to be here to coach. It's just the scale is tilted a whole lot, and I think it's about time that we level that out and start fixing that and start getting some wins that matter. That's why I say I don't care about the Murray State. I don't care about the Ohio's. I don't care about the Southern Misses. I don't care about those games, man. I don't. But a game that I haven't been worried about for a while, that I am now, I throw it out there. I'm worried about the Vandy game. But let's just get through one game at a time, and let's just see if we can show up Saturday, and let's just see if we can make this a contest that fans can at least say, okay, we didn't win the ball game. It's Georgia. We know this was coming, but at least we saw our guys go out and play like it matters to them. If you ain't committed 100% for UK, then get your coach and then get out, coach your players. And I agree with you, Mark. It goes both ways, and that's why the transfer portal's out there, and that's why coaching openings are out there. Go find something that is better for you, because this right here is not working. And you're showing us that you're not completely 100% sold on what we are trying to do here with the culture here at UK football. Vandy came to Lexington. They walked out with a win over your best quarterback in history. I don't know if he's the best quarterback. I don't think Kentucky fans, maybe by the numbers, but I don't think Kentucky fans will ever put Will Levis over Tim Couch. No one will ever say that. No, might by the numbers, he might be the best, but Tim Couch will always be most likely number one in most hearts here at Kentucky. It won't be Will Levis. Will Levis, he did good. We enjoyed him. He gave us a lot of things to cheer about. but Will Levis would never replace Tim Couch. I'm just sorry, but he won't. Okay, guys and girls, I'm going to call it a nap. Game, great show. Thanks, I appreciate it. It's the best quarterback Kentucky has ever had. Yeah, it'll never be Will Levis. You might, I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers, and it might be a numbers thing, but he will never replace Tim Couch ever. That was a joke, Vandy Chris. So remember that you can't count the cupcakes when you're getting beat. Tim Couch is the best. Yeah, I agree. He's the best quarterback that was ever here. So um, off the wall question, guys. Is the and once again, I don't do politics. I just have a question. What time is the debate tonight? I know a lot of people are looking forward to watching that tonight. I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm just curious on, can someone tell me what time that is actually? And a lot of people's not going to watch. A lot of people's going to watch. A lot of people's not. I'm just curious on what time it actually starts, because I didn't really look it up to see what time it's going to start. But I do look forward to watching this with Andrew. What's even better. That's what I'm saying. Like, by the numbers, and I don't know the numbers, but at the end of the day, Will Levis would never be considered the best quarterback in history unless you comparing numbers. But other than that, no, Will Levis would not be considered that. Never. Yes, the debate is tonight. Okay, I just don't know what time it is. That's all. Randall Carr was better before he went to till he went to receiver. So yeah, so these are guys who've been following Kentucky football for a very long time. And I know you're good with your numbers, Chris, and all that kind of stuff. But I agree, Vandy is coming hungry for UK. Oh yeah, Vandy's coming for UK for sure. And I can't believe that I'm sitting on a Kentucky show saying that about Vandy, but it is that's a true fact. They got a quarterback. They got guys out there who want to be at Vandy. They got guys out there who want to win. They got a coaching staff who's trying to change the culture there, and those guys are trying to be better. So at the end of the day, um, Vandy's not a Vandy, unless they have a collapse. Vandy is just one of those teams where it's like this year you cannot put a win beside it because of just how Vandy is playing football. Tim is number one, Hefty number two, Levis is number three. See, there you go, right there. If you look at common denominators and Stoops, we've went through so many offensive coordinators, special teams coaches, and quarterback coaches. Do you think he is difficult? It is. You think he is? I think Mark Stoops could be the problem. When you're the head coach and you got to keep going through that many people, and you can't. There's no continuity. I'm a receiver, and a coach comes in and you says, "Well, coach, I got you for 1 year, and I'll see you later." And then 9 Eastern. Okay, that would be 8 p.m. where the wifey lives, if that helps. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. The forgot what I was saying. Mark Stoops has shifted from a confident coach, eager to face and the difficulties of being the source blue. Thank you so much for joining in on Facebook. Thank you so much. I want to see what this says right here. I lost my train of thought, so my fault, guys. Okay, 9 p.m. Mark Stoops, Source Blue says Mark Stoops has shifted from a confident coach eager to face and conquer the difficulties of being the Kentucky football coach to a coach who gripes about the jobs and limitations and appears to have lost his drive and enthusiasm to rise above them. That's what it may be. That's look, once again, man, we got guys in here who's been following Kentucky football for 45, 50, 60 years. People just been following. So people have watched the Kentucky program. Hey, thanks, Source Blue. I appreciate that information or that tweet. Thank you so much. We got people who've been watching Kentucky football way up here when it goes down, when it hits the valley, to maybe to the mountaintop, and all that stuff. So, people know that Kentucky football, and I definitely can't argue. I hope they don't keep the score. Hope they don't keep the score when we play Georgia. I just saw that, Roger. Okay. Larry, thanks for the show. I appreciate you joining in, big guy. Larry says, it's crazy how the season went south very rapidly after the second game of the season. First SEC game. This year's schedule certainly doesn't offer any optimism. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Thanks for joining and thanks for that, Larry. I think for me, like I said earlier, if you're just joining, also, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you can. It really helps me out a whole lot. I don't know how many likes I got on the show so far, but hey, if you got time, If you're on Facebook and you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please jump on over and subscribe on YouTube for me and hit that like button. Can someone give me how many likes I got right now? That would be I would appreciate that. But I think at the end of the day, this is for Larry. At the end of the day, it's it's we do have a hard schedule. We'll say that. But at the end of the day, can we still go out and fight? And we didn't fight against South Carolina. And I think at the end of the day, it ain't necessarily that we lost, because when you play an SEC team, so it's always that possibility of losing. But I think I think it's the fashion of how we got beat and how we just didn't care. We couldn't even score a touchdown against South Carolina. We couldn't even score a touchdown against those guys. We got a good kicking game, so I guess that's good. So I guess if we get in a kick out shootout, then I guess maybe we got a fighting chance. I guess so. Yeah. So you have to see Tim Cass-Judge and Derek Ramsey. So I mean, like a lot of hey, Charles Weppels, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. So I mean, you got a lot of people who's going to continue to say this is my 1, 2, 3, but I don't think many people out there is going to give you, unless it's a younger person. I think if it's a younger person who hasn't been watching Kentucky football very long, and they remember Will Levis versus some of these other guys, then yes, they may actually put Will Levis up there as being their number one quarterback. But overall, I don't think very many people are going to say Will Levis is the best quarterback that's ever been in Kentucky. How does this look for our boosters to compete at top level? Got to have more money these days. More money. Show me the money, dog. Hey, who's that? Johnny Mansell? Show me the money, dog. There you go. Show it to me. And it's just one of those unfortunate situations that we would really like to see. We would like to see more from our Cats this year. We would like to we would like to see these guys play at a very, very high level, and that's for sure. So 15 likes. Appreciate that, Sean. Thanks for it's time to pony up your likes. Yeah, somebody pony up those likes out there and help the video. Look, if you don't know much about YouTube, when you hit the like, the more likes you get, the YouTube says, hey, people are liking this video. That's when YouTube, and when you get YouTube to share out your video, then that means that the video is doing pretty good. And hey, once again, I always tell people, maybe like this video is horrible. I'm not giving it a like up. Give it a thumbs down. Then I guess I don't know. Kentucky football operates within a framework of constraints, including a narrow in-state talent pool and relatively limited financial backing compared to other elite SE programs. Success hinges on recognizing and confronting these limitations. Creative problem solving can help overcome daunting challenges, but a lack of effort will perpetuate mediocrity. Hey, man, Big Blue Arena. I like that. Did you write that, or did AI write that? I'm just playing. I had to write that because it's put together so good that I'm gonna star it. I wish I had a way to actually I'm gonna star it. I can star messages on my side, so I'm going to star this message right here because you can't say it any better right here. And I know AI, you know what I'm saying. So Big Blue Arena, thank you for writing that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. Small unknown fact is that Vandy has more in-out money for football than UK does. Thank you, Amy Adams. Shrunk. It's nice to have NFL owners funding it NIL. Cool. They interviewed Mark Stoops. He gave a big bourbon burp on live TV after the game. I guess he went in his office and said, "I need a drink after this game." But I mean, it's just it's just a matter of matter of the players and the coaches coming out and at least pretending like you care. At least to show the fans your appreciation. Don't tell us that you appreciate us and then you go out and then you play like you do. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, what team shows up against Georgia? And I'm not talking about a team that comes out to beat Georgia. It's just a team that comes out and say, okay, guys, we're going to bounce back from that, and we're going to give everything we got. Win or lose, we're going to give it everything we got, and we're going to see what happens. I mean, because it's not crazy to think that UK, if they come out and play the best football game of their life, that they can't keep it close to the fourth quarter. Now, Georgia may run off with it in the third quarter. They might run off with it in the first quarter. The point is, we just got to go out and we got to see what happens. I take one bourbon and Coke for real. We know Vandy got deep pockets. That's nothing new. Yeah, Vandy got deep pockets, man. That's not nothing new. Small. Let's see what we got now. They need to buy 5-star boosters. Can't wait until we start winning because beginning SEC that'll never happen. Sean says they need to buy 5-star boosters. Can't wait until we start winning because being in SEC that'll never happen. Got to go out and do it, man. So we definitely got to go out and just do what it takes, man, to be competitive in the SEC. It's as simple as that. Don't just go do what it takes. NIL is here. If you ain't gonna spend the money, then it's probably no. Then you might want to go down to like the what is it? Not the AC. Is it the ACC or the AAC or the Atlantic 10 or something like that? Spend the money or get out of the SEC. It's just that simple because these teams are spending money and they're gonna get the guys in here and they're gonna play football. It's just whether you want to spend the money and be competitive or not. Otherwise, don't make this hard on your fan base. Uh, I love being in the SEC though, but we got to be competitive. Otherwise, why are we really doing this for? Roger, thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. And once again, Roger, I saw all your what's names, and you're not drinking the Kool-Aid. And yes, you did say, and yes, you did. You can come on my show, and you can always say exactly what you feel, and I would not hold that against you because this is a family gathering. This is what we do. So, we talk. We don't agree with everything, but at the end of the day, fist bump to you. We're Kentucky fans, and we're all together. What's this right here say? Vandy maybe get boosted. Somebody said something I wanted to see. Where's that at? I think maybe I just missed it. Yeah, let me see. Limitations. Okay, so I take one bourbon and Coke here. Mark Stoops. Sean, hold on, what's this at? Sean Vandy 24. We may suck. We know we suck. We'll be okay though. Until Vandy beats us again, then I'm going to hold faith that we're going to beat Vandy this year. And that's crazy to sit here and say, I think we're going to beat Vandy this year. I think that's when UK is pretty low. When you got to say, I hope that we beat Vandy. But we got to take it one game at a time and just show those guys need to show the fan base that they're committed to being a better football team and putting out a better product. I'm in the house. We in the week. Kentucky usually always gets up to get us a tough match. So we definitely going to do. Yes, Uncle Mike, much love. We got a Georgia fan here, Foster Moss. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Let's see what your comment is. Georgia fan here. Anything can happen. This is the SEC and college football changes week by week. Kentucky usually always gets up to get us to get us a tough match. And hey, thanks, Foster. I appreciate it as well too, man. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's just what Kentucky come out and when they just play. I mean, it's not absurd and it's not crazy to think that if UK comes out and plays lights out, that we can at least keep it competitive. Notice I didn't say we can win. I'm just saying, can we keep it competitive? And can we just be like, okay, Georgia, we're going to hit you in the mouth. We know you, Georgia, but we still going to show up and we still going to play ball. And we put our pants on the same way you do. Most of you guys, all you guys just have more stars besides your name than we do. But we still going to play football because we big boys like you. And we want to prove that we're not that team that everyone saw against South Carolina. Yeah, we know what happened last time you came to Kroger Field. We understand that. I ain't talking to you, Chris. Y'all have D. Eric Jackson from Dublin, Georgia, holding down the defense from my hometown school, West Lauren. I'm a Georgia Dog fan, but I do pull for you guys when we're not playing us. Appreciate that, man. Jimmy, that's all right there, man. Thank you, Jimmy Ace. Appreciate that. It means a lot, man. Thanks so much. We want to cheer for Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? We want Kentucky to come out and just be the best version of themselves. And I don't think any fan out there for Kentucky is asking for something unrealistic. Maybe, But I don't think any fans out there are asking anything unrealistic when they're asking for Kentucky to put a better product out on the football field, and you put a better product out there based off your attitude, not necessarily your talent, because we're going to play teams that's more talented than us all year long. We just are. People out recruit us all across pretty much the SEC, just about. But can we still put a team out there who mentally wants to be out there and who wants to compete and up for the challenge? Some people really love the ideal of, I don't like playing weak teams. I like playing teams that are higher than me, that challenges me to be better than what I'm supposed to be. Well, I can gauge I can gauge and see exactly where I'm at in my career and where I can improve at. Those are the kind of players that go far because they don't enjoy playing. We got to play up, and that's what Kentucky's doing all day with these ball games. We're playing up, and we got to see if we can find a way to actually. We got to find a way that we can actually see if we can actually play up and come out there with a sense of urgency. It's Georgia, man. Look, I'm excited to play Georgia. I am. Now, after the game, I will be traveling. I don't know with the time, the games, and all that. If anything, I may get maybe a 10, maybe 15-minute post game. It just depends on if my plane is taking off or if I gotta get on the plane. I'm gonna try to delay that as long as possible until they call my name and say, "Hey, Mr. Spencer, you need to get on the plane. We can ready to close the door." So if I can go live for about 10, 15 minutes right after the game, if time permits, I will do a small post game show. If not, when I land and when I get back to the house, it be like maybe about an hour or so after the game, maybe, hopefully. And I'll just maybe go live for a couple of minutes. But anyway, I look forward to that. I just look forward to seeing what our cats are going to come out here to do too as well. Um, Van House did some really good breakdowns of the South Carolina. He shared them on Twitter X. Lots of mental mistakes, persistent poor execution. He does bust Barry and Brown one play for running a weak route. And you should. But then again, I guess maybe at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and run your routes. I think frustration had probably already set in on every aspect of everybody, and it was just like, can we just get this over? But still, as a D1 player who wants to go to the NFL, regardless of what's going on everywhere else, do your job and run a hard route because somebody's always watching. Somebody's always watching they got people. You watch the wide receivers and you watch the linemen and you watch these guys, and we'll see what they're doing. So the camera's always on. The camera's always the eye in the sky is always watching. Always. So always do what you're supposed to do. Otherwise, don't go out there. Just beat the spread and I'll be okay. You see what I'm saying? Look, people, UK fans, we're not asking for a whole lot. Somebody said just beat the spread. Just lose by 23. And we'll be okay and we'll be happy. Just don't lose by 40. Please don't. The DoorDash bourbon to Mark Stoops at 3 a.m. I'm still angry and but the non-performance against South Carolina. But I'm gonna pull for my Cats no matter. Just give it all you got next time. Man up. Yep, I need a DoorDash, some blue pills to Stoops for it. Now, Van's the man. He calls them out as we should when they getting paid. Yep, because if you're getting NIL money, then guess what? You're getting paid. So now you have to be okay with that. Hey, Clint, welcome for joining in. I appreciate you. If you're getting NIL money and you're getting paid, then guess what? You're gonna get called out. And I'm not good at calling out players because I can't run like Barry and I can't catch like Barry, and I'm not good like that. But still, at the end of the day, you getting NIL money, you're gonna get called out if you're not performing because you're cheating you're cheating your employer if you're getting paid and you're not going out to perform. So run your routes and run them the right way. That's exactly how it should be. Let's see what else we got here, man. DoorDash. What it is now? What is it now? It is now what 8 after 8 p.m. right Eastern time. Is that correct? Yeah, it should be somewhere around that time Eastern time right now. See, look at my watch, whatever. See what time it is. Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's after 8 Eastern time. So dogs are gonna eat some cat stew on Saturday. Are you all ready for some college basketball? I'm not ready for college basketball just yet, Clint. I'm still holding out that our Kentucky Wildcats are going to do something special eventually before we get to Louisville. I hope so. I hope uh, we have to clean the penalties. 60 yards and penalties is unacceptable. Only 90 yards on offense and arguably the best receivers in college football. Thanks for joining in, Curtis Collins. Appreciate that. I think Mark knew this team was missing something. So Charles, what do you think? What do you think that? What do you think they're missing? Um, I want to hear that. Okay. Uh, Michael Durrett, thank you for joining on X. I appreciate it a lot. Let me throw up an X comment right here for a second. Michael says to Savannah said you can have a $20 million roster, but if you don't pay the right players, you are out of luck. I guess so. You got to get the right people. So I think it's time for us to stop going after a quarterback and maybe start going after some very, very top tier talent on the line, on the offensive line, like top tier. We want you here. What are we gonna pay you? And we because we want you here. Coach Saban is autocorrect. Okay, so no asking who is in the house this evening. UK football team going to have a reboot. Going to have a reboot first for real. Eight. Okay, it's 8:10. I'm just keeping up with the time for the debate. I do want to watch the debate. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've been wanting to watch it for a while, so I'm just kind of keeping. I'm trying to keep track of that time. I know a lot of other people are going to be watching the debate too as well. Not getting political whatsoever. I'm interested in watching it. Stoops need to invest in um, Stoops needs investment in the online more than a quarterback. An okay quarterback can look good with time to read. That's next clock management. Yep, got to get. It's just so many things that you would hope that the highest tight end coach in the nation getting paid, the head coach is getting a lot of money. You would think that these are the kind of things that maybe we can get this right. Maybe I can put everything I got into making sure that we get this right. You know, one day a week, a Saturday. Can we get this right one day a week? I don't know. Maybe so. I ain't watching that clown show. So when he was SEC Media Day, he didn't look too confident. I think it's depth. It could be depth. It. I mean, it is, and we're not rooting. I mean, Rudy, we're not recruiting like these other powerhouse teams are. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just kind of like we gotta, as I think no one just said, we gotta go recruit some linemen. We gotta go recruit some guys that can give the quarterback time to read. And if we don't, then you know what? It's pretty crazy. Someone says we got a 60-yard field goal kicker. We just need to get to midfield. That's it. Just get to midfield and kick it. Just give us, I mean, if you're gonna go for fourth down and you on their 40-yard line, and if you don't get it, they got 40 yards to go to score, and we don't get first down, we might as well just kick it, man. Just whatever, dude. I mean, that's probably a safer bet at this particular point is just to go for the kick and just see if we can get points. And maybe that can be a momentum swinger of our kicker kicking a 60-yard field goal 3 times a ball game. You should do a show on the game of the week if you get to see other games. I like the way you do your show. Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it. The game of the week. I did have an SEC show. Unfortunately, this is the first year in 3 years that we did not do it. It's called Second to None. It's on YouTube as well as, but unfortunately, we didn't make it happen this year. Sadly, I'm really sad that we didn't, and it feels odd that we're not meeting to recap all the games in the SEC. We did it weekly, but we ain't doing it this year. So I'm kind of disappointed and I'm sad, but it is what it is. All of a sudden, we at basketball school again. I guess so. Hey, Linda, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. I was screaming at that call. I know, right? I was too. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, we can't get one at all. LSU going to kill South Carolina. Um, yeah, I'm definitely rooting for LSU in that ball game. I just am. I was somewhere in basketball school that I remember them got. I remember them get positive yardage, then going backwards due to unnecessary and undisciplined penalties. Yep. I mean, I think we picked up like a 32-yard pass, didn't we? And it got called back. I think it was. So it is, it takes some discipline. Like we just completely just played lethargic. We just play like, what are we doing here today? Like, we got a game today? I don't know. Like, I just don't know for sure. Stoops and staff would get this team to improve, but just don't see the team having a good year. 5 to 6 wins is a reality this year, but I will cheer for them. Go Cats. I think I will too. Um, is it going to be 6 wins? Is if we can get to 6 wins, can people say, we'll go to a bowl game? Probably a really horrible one, but we'll go to a bowl game. Maybe we'll win. Um, Pope is about to have a top 5 class. Yes, he is. Pope is doing his thing in basketball, and a lot of people are looking forward to basketball season. That's for sure. At least we can switch sports for real. Uh, for real, at least University of Louisville is 2-0. Hey, somebody in Kentucky's representing Kentucky, I guess, huh? I guess. It's still hell's down, though. I don't care what Louisville's doing. I still don't like and go. I like LSU fans much more than USC junior fans. Nice people. My dream is to go to a game at Death Valley. People said don't go at night because it's creepy. So I think that's when I want to go. I want to go experience Death Valley at nighttime at LSU. I think it's Death Valley. Yeah. I want to go see them. So I don't think Mark can get the big recruits because he's never been in a championship contention. That's why they don't want to play for him. Tim Lawson, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. That's the real valid point. You know what I'm saying? So, but I will say this about that comment though, Tim, is that now NIL money, it is what it is. You throw the right dollar sign out there in my face, I will consider you. And I think that's the big thing with getting the old lineman or anybody of that caliber is just to be able to bring in the right people for real 7 downs. So I was down. My fault. Sorry about that. I had to reread it. I had to flip it. Blue ball burner. And thank you for joining from X. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Joining Hell's Down always, baby. So Hope and Pope basketball. Tell you what, man. If we get drugged, if we get dragged, or whatever present tense or past tense you want to use with that form of word, you choose it. I hope people don't check out. But I mean, people are already expecting it to be a blowout anyway. So if it's a blowout, people won't be surprised. But they still gonna be angry though. We can walk into that Georgia game and say, look, we may lose by 45 points, and we already know it's coming. But we still gonna be angry after the game. We still gonna be upset. Like, I don't get upset if I hear dog barks. I don't get upset if I see a cat run up the tree. They're only doing with who they are. So you can't get upset if you already expected them to lose by 45 and they lose. I think it's the fashion that you lose the ball game that makes the difference. So Pope has a #1 ranked class for next year. Well, let's keep getting more. UK girls going to get them Tars this year. Yep. Nobody worried about the Tars for real. I don't think. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see if these guys are able to just come out on Saturday and just pretend like they care, and we'll let the chips fall. So if I'm able to do a post-game show after the game on Saturday, which is like Sunday morning for me around, probably around about maybe about 5:30, the game will be off, and I think I may be actually on my plane by then, coming back. But no other coach has 2 top 25 recruits for next year. It's early. Nobody. It's early, but I believe in Pope though, so I believe we're gonna get it done. So, hey, if you have not hit that like button or if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do your boy Big Mike a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification so you can be notified for the video. And also keep in mind that when I hit 3,000 followers, and I hope I hit it before I leave Kuwait. I hope I hit the 3,000 mark before I leave Kuwait. I'm going to do something really. I'm still trying to figure out what I got to do, but I'm going to go big to match Big Mike with giving away something for my appreciation for getting the Loyal BBN Fan Show to 3,000 subscribers. It would mean a lot to me. So until next time, I'm coping with Pope, and I love it. I'm gonna Cope Chrissa. Okay, I don't think that's the real one, but Cope. Okay, Chrissa, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. When I saw Chrissa for a second, I was like, "Is that him?" I had to do a double check and everything. So, what's y'all's favorite UK football memory? Wow, that's everyone's probably gonna have a different memory of that. That's for sure. This is my code room, so but I gotta leave the AC on. So when I come in, only when I come in here does my nose run. So I go right out of my room and I go right to my kitchen where it's warm at, so I can unthaw. What stars he gets, I trust he gets the right fit for what he needs in the system. It's nice to say we actually have a system. I think it is too. Number one, okay, that's a cope. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining on X. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. Thank you for joining in on X. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, guys, please do so. More importantly, hit the like button. That means a great deal to me as well, too. So until next time, I hope the next time we talk, that the Wildcats show that they want to play against Georgia, I think. And hopefully those guys say we're better than what we are. We're better than what we are last week. And we're going to prove that with the Tim Tebow moment and saying we will play as hard as we can from here on out. And you will never have to worry about us not showing up wanting to play. We're going to give it everything we got. So thank every last one of you guys for joining the Loyal BBN Fan Show. If you never text my text line before, 270-220-0994. The number is right up under there, up under the word show. Please just send me a text of what you think about what's going on with Kentucky. Or better yet, when the video ends, leave your comments as soon as the video so those comments can be counted towards the show. And I appreciate each one of you guys. How cold is your cold room? 70? No, I think it's a little bit. It might be a little bit cooler than that. You got to remember when they make these buildings over here, everything in here is concrete. So when that cold air comes out of the vent right there, it just hits these these concrete walls, and all the air just falls right down. I'm sitting in the middle of the room, so all the cold air just falls right down on me because they don't have like the little vents like this. That they got the long vents like this. So all that cold air just blows out and just falls down. But if I turn the AC off because of the temperature, it is almost 3:30 in the morning here, and it's 104 degrees outside. So I can't turn down the AC very much. I can't. I gotta leave it on because it gets really, really hot so bad. So 70 feels cold and 120. Yes. So yeah, it really does, man. Great show. Thanks for all you do. Thanks. I appreciate it, Source Blue. And thank you for joining so much. It really means a lot to me, man. It really does. So once again, once I reach 3,000 subscribers, I'm going to go big with a giveaway. I really am. So help me get to 3,000. Share with your friends and family. I appreciate it. And let's get this thing up to 3,000 and we will make it and we will get it together. Until next time, I'm Mike. This is the Loyal BBN Fan Show. Go Cats and fight, fight, fight. Take it easy, guys.